जय हिंद एवरीवन, दिस इज डॉक्टर चीनू Kwatra एंड वेलकम टू द नेक्स्ट एपिसोड ऑफ इंसान बनो पॉडकास्ट, जिसमें हम बात करते हैं उन इंस्पायरिंग पर्सनालिटी से जो मुझे आज तक इंस्पायर कर रहे हैं। हाल ही में ही मेरी इनसे दोस्ती हुई, मेरी इनसे पहचान हुई और मेरे आश्रम के रिगार्डिंग ही वी गॉट कनेक्टेड एंड देन वी फॉलोड ईच अदर ऑन इंस्टाग्राम। स्लोली स्टडी पता चला कि शी इज़ ऑल्सो डूइंग सोशल वर्क इन हर ओन वे। जब थोड़ा बहुत और जानने की कोशिश की तो पता चला कि ये वो धाकड़ माँ है जो अपना नाम एक अलग वे में बनाने की कोशिश कर रही है। शी इज़ इनटू टीवी, शी हैज़ मेट शाहरुख खान, शी हैज़ परफॉर्म्ड इन इंडियाज़ गॉट टैलेंट, इंडियाज़ बेस्ट डांसर, मेट शाहरुख खान। बूगी वूगी जो मेरा बहुत ज़्यादा फेवरेट सीरियल था जहाँ पे मैं रिजेक्ट हो चुका था, वहाँ पे ये आ चुके हैं। सो शी इज़ अ पर्सनैलिटी जिन्होंने बहुत अप्स एंड डाउन्स अपने लाइफ में देखे हैं, बट शी इज़ डूइंग हर बेस्ट to come out and be the super mom. Let's meet Shiraz Irani today. Thank you, Shiraz, for coming on this show.
Thank
Namaste,
you for
namaste,
having
namaste.
me.
So thank you so much, firstly, for traveling all the way to Thane, and
I enjoyed the ride.
luckily you didn't get traffic today. So you are already a blessed child, I would say.
Absolutely. In Mumbai, having no traffic, it's a blessing.
And especially on Sunday, monsoon.
I enjoyed my music and the drive. It was fun.
It is so lovely to see you after chatting for a while, and I remember our first convo started with that rescuing that lady and giving a better life to
Yes.
that lady. But I'm sure you have learned a lesson.
How upset I was because she first said that I am going to shift and you do whatever is necessary. I'm all ready. And then I got in touch with you. And it was also like, they say there are no coincidences. So, the whole meeting, the whole process of asking you if you could help me, and you were like out there wanting to help. You said you'll send your team. And then I go to her, but you told me, go and ask, is she really willing to shift? So you probably had experience such things, was why you knew, okay, somewhere she might turn back from her word, and that's what happened.
So this started way back when I didn't have any shelter also. Na tab bhi, I what we used to do is we used to rescue people and give it to a different shelter whom I have initially adopted and all. So मैंने ये बहुत खाया है यार, मतलब सामने सामने दिखाना है कि हमें आना है, और उसके बाद में सीधा हाथ उठा देने हैं कि हमें नहीं आना है. So a lot of things I have seen and experienced in my life. So when I get such calls, I tell कि I am sure I'll help, but first you see that कि whether they need help or not. आज के डेट में आप हेल्प करना चाहते हो लोगों को, बट वो हेल्प लेना नहीं चाहते. सो वो एक बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस है. सो यस शिराज, आई हैव इंट्रोड्यूस्ड यू इन माई स्टाइल. I never
Thank you for the beautiful introduction.
I never have a script in my hand where I professionally introduce people, because I don't like that. It comes, whatever comes from heart, it comes from heart. So yeah, tell me and tell our Janta, who is Shiraz for you? How did this super mom, this dynamic woman was born?
Since you spoke about being born, my mummy named me Shiraz because she had the understanding that, firstly, she was not expecting that she would give birth to a baby girl. She had prayed to God and said that, God, please give me a baby girl. I have two sons now. And when I was born for her, it was more like a lot of sweetness added into her life. So she named me Shiraz, Shiraz meaning sweet music. And of course, after that, there was a wine made on my name.
Lovely, lovely, yeah. So I always remember Shiraz as a wine. Now I understand it is a sweet music. So yeah, sweet music with wine is definitely a win-win situation.
And also because there is a place named Shiraz in Iran. So because we have our forefathers coming from there, being a Parsi. So yeah, so. But if you ask me who is Shiraz, like, I was just thinking, what kind of labels do I have? Is Shiraz a mom? Is Shiraz a wife? Is Shiraz a dancer? No, Shiraz is a girl. She is a young girl who never grew up because her dreams are still all ongoing. So yeah, Shiraz is a woman with her dreams. And I am just wanting to live one dream at a time. And at the same time, in my own little way, even if I believe I can help or change one human being's life in this universe, then I'll feel like I've lived a life worth living. So this is Shiraz. Always laughing, always cracking jokes on people, enjoying.
So this happy-go-lucky personality, I really love that because the moment you entered this place, and I could feel that happiness coming in, because usually we meet people, and especially when it is our first time to meet personally, we had spoken on calls and WhatsApp messages and all. But when you definitely meet a person, there's a different vibe. And when as soon as you entered, I felt comfortable at my own place that yeah, I am talking to someone today whom I can connect with. So yes, you have that connecting vibe, and I'm sure a lot of things have been gone through in your life. I know about it. 2020, the season started where you thought about belly dancing. You didn't thought about belly dancing. You brought back your old days of belly dancing. By the way, guys, she is having 18 years of experience in belly dancing. द बेली डांसिंग जब शायद किसी को पता भी नहीं था बेली डांसिंग होता है, आज हम लोगों को देख रहे हैं बेली डांसिंग कर रहे हैं, आज हम करियर के बारे में सोच रहे हैं बेली डांसिंग के ऊपर, वेयर इंडिया में भी इट कैन बी अ बिग बिग करियर in terms of dancing. It's a I would say it's a form of dancing again, but she started way back 18 years back. I don't know what I was doing 18 years back at that time. I really can't imagine. I was in 10th standard or something, or I was I was trying to give my boards, or trying to flirt with the girls. That's what I know. But 18 years back, you started with the idea of belly dancing. How did that came into your mind? And then 2020 happened. Boom.
I did not choose belly dancing. Belly dancing chose me. I just feel that it's been like belly dancing has been a part of me since lifetimes and not just this life. So when I gave my first belly dancing performance, I didn't even know that it was called belly dancing. So we had a talent show, and our teacher had said that you all have to do something out of the box. So there was this new song of Shakira that had come out that time, like yeah, really long, like 2006 I'm talking about. It was La Tortura. So the music was such, that whole element. I started moving her hips and all, and then my friend who was participating with me, she's like, Haila, this is like something else only, you're moving your hips and all, so let's call it belly dance and let's just do it. And that's how we did it. And my mentor, my sir, he liked it so much that he's like, I want you to set up a complete dance for the girls on this. So we made like an Egyptian setup and everything, and like all those girls were like mummies, and like we kind of came like I was the Cleopatra in it and stuff. So it was a beautiful experience. And then the girls were like that, दीदी हमको और सीखना है. तो I'm like, but मुझे तो belly dancing का verb ही नहीं आता है, and I didn't know there were teachers and stuff in this dance form. So then my sir said, you go on YouTube and you check, and 2 दिन के अंदर एक शो था, and my sir is like, अभी परफॉर्म करना है. मैंने बोला ये क्या बात हो गई यार, मुझे तो belly dancing का वर्ड नहीं पता, आप मुझे बोल रहे हो जाके स्टेज पे सोलो परफॉर्मेंस दे दो. Now when I look back, I feel that was the most technically horrible performance of mine, but people loved it, the audience loved it, and then they were like, we want you to teach our children, and the girls were like, didi humko seekhna and all that. So that kind of hype started off. And what it would be like, I'll tell you. Abhi sham ko class hai, to sabere main pura I would like kind of watch the performance of what belly dancing actually is like, and then I would write my own vocabulary of dance. Now that has been my biggest positive, that because I did not have a teacher, and because I was self trained, somewhere I was triggered and pushed in like outside my comfort zone. So like writing your own vocabulary, watching the step and then breaking it out कि मुझे सिखाना कैसे है. The preparation exercises, core technique. At the same time, I was also educating myself with how the belly dancing dynamic works on the body. So it has been a very long process, but today if I have been able to train those how many ever like 5,000 plus students in my career, is because somewhere I was an amateur trying to educate myself in how the dance form is to be done. Of course, today there are beautiful resources where people can learn online, but that time I did not have that opportunity. There were times when I would conduct these workshops, okay, and I would like put up these ads, belly dance workshop for free. Free में भी कोई नहीं आता था तभी workshop के लिए. तो I used to go to the dance class and I would come back after half an hour. My mother would be like, इतना जल्दी workshop खत्म हो गया. I said, मम्मा कोई आया ही नहीं करके. तो my mother that time had told me, I'm talking about like in 2006, मम्मा ने मुझे सिर्फ एक ही चीज़ बोली थी, that Shiraz, don't be discouraged. When Savitri Bai Phule started her teaching career, no, there used to be only one girl child, and people used to throw stones at her. If you believe in your dream, and if you believe in the dance form, one day you will grow, and one day you'll have your studios and your institutes or whatever. That was the hope and dream that stuck with me throughout. So even when there were downfalls and all, na, मैं बोलती थी नहीं, I believe in this. And somewhere na, it was like it was gifted to me. My body always knew how to move. It was just that I had to remember कि हाँ कैसे my muscle memory can move that way. So there was no looking back. And yeah, talking about that, I'm talking about like being rejected. I've always been heavy and I love myself. I just love the way I am. I'm pretty. It's good to praise yourself sometimes, I feel.
No, definitely, yeah, definitely. You should love
Yeah.
yourself, and you give that happiness comes through you. So it doesn't mind. It doesn't matter also. Okay, if you are heavy, if you are not, if you have talent, I suppose it is more than important for everyone. But yes, nowadays it is more of you need to be in that particular figure. You need to be in that genre, और आपको लोग नहीं देखेंगे, आपको लोग ऐसे करेंगे. वो चार लोग जो आजकल रील में चल रहा है ना, वो शायद इसी रीज़न की वजह से चल रहा है कि हमने वो चार लोगों को बहुत इंपॉर्टेंस दे दी है.
मैं आपसे ये शेयर करती हूँ. इट्स सो इम्पॉर्टेंट टू नो. सो आई वॉन्टेड टू बी इन रियलिटी शोज. सो आई स्टार्टेड ऑफ माई जर्नी when reality shows had just come into India, like the whole hype thing. Every time, and my dad, he's like the man who supported me when no one else did. So he would take me for the auditions and everything, and we would stand in the line from night 2 o'clock till the next day 5 o'clock in the evening. वैसा kind. कभी कभी तो डैडी उधर, there used to be like a parapet kind, वो वहीं पर ऐसे फुटपाथ पे ऐसे लेट जाते थे. He would be that exhausted. So my father has been my main guide and support there. So I'll tell you, मैं जाती थी लगभग after waiting in line for 14-15 hours. जब चांस आता था 30 सेकंड के अंदर ओके फाइन चलो गो, it's over. And इतना ऐसे दिल ऐसे, I used to feel like broken. I remember like almost after giving like 7-8 auditions, once I was so done and so broken, I thought I did not have it in me. I remember going and sitting on the toilet floor over there and crying, like ऐसे costume ऐसे पूरी ऐसे पड़ी हुई थी, and I was like crying, and I'm like, this is it, I am giving up now. And that's when after like 7-8 months I get a call, and they are like, we are coming up with India's Got Talent season 4, are you interested? तो मैं इतना थक गई थी ना, इतना fed up हो गई थी, तो I directly told her, look, before you take my audition, let me tell you, I am fat. And I have observed that fat people को लोग देखते भी नहीं है, they just like cut them off. Because I somewhere believed in my talent. It's not like I am hyping about it, but I knew I could dance. But chance तो दो, 40 seconds में they would stop watching. So I went like completely hopeless for the audition, because कहीं ना कहीं होता है कि you want to give up, but then your inner zing will never let you give up. You will be like, एक और बार try कर ही लेते हैं. That's what I did. And that was my life's breaking moment, like life changing moment. I got a standing ovation and jaw dropping with the judges. And then over there on stage, I realized that not giving up had its own motive in my life. And that was when I went in 2012 to do the show. It was finally understood that you can break norms and fat people can dance. तो 10 साल 11 साल पहले, when nobody really believed in the fact that you can dance in anybody, was the time when I wanted to go and wanted to show it to the world, because इतने अच्छे beautiful dancers हैं who are still hiding behind, because probably they feel कि नहीं body ये वो वगैरह. So
I am not understanding this fact. The older, if you go back to 80s, 90s, or 2000, the best choreographers of our industry are super fat.
Absolutely,
Are
yes.
super fat. मतलब if you see Govinda dancing, Govinda को सिखाया किसने? He was also super fat. She was also super fat. We are not taking the names here, but
Yeah.
definitely you need to understand the thing. It is not about fatness, it is all about talent. We have worshipped those choreographers. We have cried when one of that choreographer has died recently. And because she has a talent,
Yeah.
because she was able to tell people that this can be done, and a lot can be done, and where people are judging you for your body posture, for your color. I was shamed all the time in my school days because I was fat and I मेरे को हर हर नाम से बुलाया जाता था. I would say I would say my inspiration at that time was Diler Mehndi. Diler Mehndi was also fat. So I used to be called as Chota Diler Mehndi. When I tell about Boogie Woogie ka incidents, I could remember my days because my mom used to be with me and we used to stand in the queues at Juhu whole night, whole day, and just for that one audition, thrice, four times I did those audition. Finally got selected for Boogie Woogie. The first very episode when I was on stage, I was wearing jutti, wearing all my Dhelair Mehndi ka costume, and I slipped because the floor was so soft. My juti was not able to stay back there, and I got slipped. And then I was rejected by Javed Jafri itself. And the moment I met him Abhi recently for my roti ghar, when I called him at my one of our celebration, I told this is the badla I am taking with you. आपने मुझे रिजेक्ट किया था ना, आज मैं आपको यहाँ पे थाने तक बुला पाया हूँ. Then he recollected who I was. Then he remembered who I was. So this is all journey, I would say, which gives you learning and which makes you even more powerful. Today Shiraz is even more powerful because of that journey, I suppose. So this reality show happened, and then you got pregnant. A beautiful thing happened in your life. Then the tables turned around. You became a mom, and you have to leave everything aside and just take care of your baby because that is something beautiful and a big responsibility on you. So how did you took that challenge up?
I gave birth in 2017 and I gave birth to this cute little baby boy. The first few days, I was only gazing at his fingers and his toes, and I was like, he's got fingers, toes like me, the shape of it. And it's like, even when I speak about it, I get so overwhelmed and emotional. And most moms will understand what that feeling is, no matter how old your baby is going to get. For you, your child is always going to be this little one whom you gave birth to. And that's like if you ask, the happiest moment in my life has been when I was given him in my hand. And there is no happiness equivalent for compared to that happiness. There is no happiness equivalent to that happiness. And I always had this understanding that when I'm going to give birth, I am going to quit everything and I'm just going to be with him. I'm going to raise my family. I don't want to miss a single first of his first walking, his first mama, his first bath, everything I wanted to be a part of. And that's what I very consciously chose to do. Though that's somewhere now not my opinion. I now do believe that if I give birth again, I will definitely be working as well as raising my child. But back then, the new mom, the excited mom, I kind of decided to be completely with my son, and no regrets. But yes, one thing is there that after having a booming career, suddenly switching to doing nothing and from being a completely independent woman to becoming completely codependent, okay, it does have an effect on your mental health. And I was suffering with postpartum depression, and I did not know what that really meant, to be honest. I just thought maybe I was turning insane because I had my baby with me and I was not able to enjoy all those precious moments with him because somewhere deep down I was not happy, and that was reflecting on the outside. So the people around me were noticing that change in me. Suddenly I had become this underconfident, a scared girl who was just living in four walls. I was disconnected from all my friends and I was not able to connect with anybody. So, yeah, postpartum depression is a clinical thing and people now have started recognizing it. But 6 years ago, exactly, like nobody knew about it. I was having it and I was not knowing that I was having it. So I almost suffered for 1.5 to 2 years with that. There were moments when I would cry, there were moments when I would just laugh. I had these admiral gushes, and all of that I realized was affecting my child somewhere because I will see this a million times. If you are not happy, you cannot keep anybody happy around you, even if you try your level best. And that's what happened. Then there was this moment in 2020. I got a call from a reality show and they were like, would you audition? And in that moment, I was like, dude, I don't have it in me. I mean, I've become so fat than what I was, and my body was literally feeling.
मुझे तब रिजेक्टेड करते थे
Like, no, but after that, I did India's Got Talent. I got my fame, everything. And in 2020, I remember it was the month of January, and I was just feeling hopeless. Like, नहीं यार मुझे ऑडिशन नहीं देना, क्या होगा, रिजेक्ट करेंगे यार, बॉडी कितना बड़ा हो गया ये वो. बिकॉज नो मैटर हाउ मच ऑफ अ ट्रेंड सेटर यू माइट बी, हाउ मच ऑफ अ नॉर्म ब्रेकर यू माइट बी, कि हाँ या आई डिड सेट अ ट्रेंड देन दैट फैट पीपल कैन डांस एंड ऑल ऑफ दोज थिंग्स, बट समवेयर डीप डाउन इनसाइड आई वाज स्टिल अ लिटिल स्कैर्ड कि will I be able to do it again? Is it in, do I have it in me? But then I had my closest friends. Now, my biggest blessing in life is that my friends are my chosen family and I've chosen the best friends ever. Like, so my friend, he told me that, you know what, you still have it in you, at least just go and try. And jab raat ko main aise hi chill marti thi, I would get messages, did you start practicing? So I have had that kind of support. जा उठ जाके मिरर के सामने अपने आप को देख और प्रैक्टिस कर. एंड देन आई स्टार्टेड. एंड देन आई वॉज लाइक, इससे बुरा क्या होने वाला है, इससे बुरा दे विल रिजेक्ट मी, एटलीस्ट ट्राई तो कर ले, तूने पहले ट्राई किया अभी भी कर ले. आई वेंट फॉर माई ऑडिशन. एंड फॉर मी दैट टाइम माई सन यूज टू नॉट स्टे विदाउट मी, रोता था. तो somehow I managed to keep him at home. It was like इतना बड़ा guilt that, oh my god, I'm leaving my son behind and going. But I still went, and there were this panel of 10 people, like 9 to 10 people sitting in front of me, and I was having these cold feet and I was shivering. And I'm like, एक moment होता है ना, when आप ऐसे बंदर के ऐसे घंटी बजा के आप अंदर ऐसे जाते हो. That was my moment, like I'm entering into that zone after how many, 3 years, 4 years, I was entering into that performance zone. And I entered and I'm like, Shiraz, jo hona hoga, hoga. I went and I performed and everybody was clapping and one of them even stood. And they're like, oh my God, Shiraz. And that was it for me. I started crying over there. And they are like, the people who had seen me before, they are like, nothing has changed. Where do you get this energy from? Because that was it. वो एक दो line मुझे बोल दी ना, I was like, I still have it in me and my confidence came back. And then I went, I performed, and this time when I went on stage, I went with my son, and it was like, oh my God, I was living the most amazing moment of my life. There was this time when in the night I used to cry myself to sleep because I felt I was hopeless and I had lost it and I couldn't dance. And then there was this moment where I go and I tell the judges, I dedicate this performance to my son. And then he's on stage and I'm holding him. And that moment when the judges, they say that we want to give you this badge, and then I'm wearing that badge with my son in my hand.
such a beautiful and blissful moment, I would say, for any mother. It is a beautiful moment when you dedicate, you are in that platform where people are appreciating. And then after all the struggles, I'm sure that a lot of things were there back of your mind, that ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है, ऐसे करना है, वैसे करना है. But that moment, I'm sure that nobody can feel it except you, because you have lived that moment. So with this, I have also heard about that शाहरुख खान से मिले यार आप, जो शायद हर देश की क्या दुनिया की जनता उनको इतना ज़्यादा प्यार करती है, एंड उन्होंने आके आपको प्यार जताया. सो दैट मोमेंट आई वुड डेफिनेटली वांट टू नो कि हाउ इट हैपेंड.
So it had happened as such that India's Got Talent का फिनाले था, and उसके एक वीक पहले I had a ligament tear. लिगामेंट का पार्शियल ये था, इंजरी था. आई वोंट से इट वाज अ टेयर, थोड़ा सा एग्रीवेट हो गया था एंड मैं चल नहीं पा रही थी, तो डांस तो दूर की बात थी. एंड देन द पीपल टोल्ड मी दैट आप रेस्ट ले लो, आप सिर्फ शो पे आना एंड बैठना, हम बता देंगे दैट यू आर इंजर्ड. तो मैंने भी मान लिया था कि हाँ चलो ठीक है, अभी तो परफॉर्म करना नहीं है, तो मैं चिल मार रही थी. एंड आई टेल यू, ये परफॉर्मेंस होने वाला था सैटरडे को, द शूट. और थर्सडे रात को आई डोंट नो क्या हुआ, मेरी एक डायरी रहती है मेरे साथ हमेशा, और उस डायरी में मैंने पीछे ये शो होने के कुछ महीने पहले, मैं मैनिफेस्टेशन में बिलीव करती हूँ, तो 2 months before I had written down, I am performing in the grand finale of India's Got Talent. When I read that, there was this kind of a moment, okay, what am I doing? Because of a little bit of an injury, I am letting go of such a big moment in my life. So, what's more, the sacrifice, the pain, or that moment when you will perform for the grand finale? You want this dream to go off, or you want this dream to remain and you want to write it in your life history that you lived it? I went, I begged all the creative team people, I am feeling good, just allow me to perform. They were like, no, you have an injury, this, that. I somehow convinced them. I'm a brat that way and I can have it my way if I have to. I was like, please, 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 this is my life changing moment. I want to dance in front of Shah Rukh Khan and the other people who are going, the guests who are going to come. So they were like, okay, fine, you just have 1 hour in hand. उसके अंदर ये तुम्हारा गाने का पीस है, तुम सेट करके तुम अगर हमको दिखाते हो, if you do it, you are in. If you are not convinced, you are out. Now pain तो था ligament का, but I took my medicine and it was a do or die moment for me. I went behind. One of the people, one of the choreographers from the team, they helped me. I just showed them, ये step करो, ये step करो. They're like, हाँ. तो रात को 2:30 in the makeup room, we were setting up my piece. My piece was ready in 25 minutes. I'm like, sir, I am ready. They're like, are you sure? Are you okay? I said, yes, sir. So मेरे लिए तो set पे भी place नहीं था. तो my set was actually slanting made last minute for me. I went, I danced, everybody's like, okay, you are done, you are in. For me, that was like, okay, I'm going to dance in front of Shah Rukh Khan finally. So the pain was there, but the happiness was there. And I feel when you decide to go against the odds, the pain is just a side factor. It does not stay, it just gets camouflaged in it. So then comes the main day when Shah Rukh Khan, Katrina Kaif, Anushka Sharma, and all the judges are over there. And मेरा performance आता है, I perform Crazy Kiya Re with absolutely zero hope that it's even going to get a applause, because I'm like इतना जल्दी set किया था and I did not get a chance to physically practice. So I perform and then Shah Rukh Khan and all of them are like clapping and the whole medley gets done, and after that Shah Rukh Khan takes my name. शिराज, आप बहुत 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 अच्छा डांस किया आपने. एंड देन ही लैंड्स अप टेलिंग कि अगर इस दुनिया में सबसे खूबसूरत लड़की मैंने देखी है तो वो आप है, और मैंने आपसे अच्छा नाचने वाला इस दुनिया में नहीं देखा. यू नो, लाइक दीज डायलॉग्स आर लाइक रट्टा मारो फाइट नाउ, बिकॉज फॉर मी दे वर लाइफ चेंजिंग मोमेंट्स अगेन. And then he was like, he said something that really deeply moved me. He told me that when I saw you dancing, I realized that I was seeing myself in you. That's because even when I joined theatre, people used to be like, I don't look good and I'm not a good actor or whatever. But the belief that he had in himself, these were his words on the stage, is why he said I could make it so far. So when I see you, I see myself in you. And I really wish and pray that you make it big in life. And वहाँ पे तो मैं, I was like gone. I was literally like on the floor and I was bowing down that, you've changed my life by just saying this, because it kind of was like pinch me kind of a moment for me. And then after that, he was called on stage to dance with everyone. And in the middle of that, he comes and he holds my hand and he calls me and he dances with me. And there is a moment when he sits down and he kisses my belly. Wow. Yeah, and that becomes a very viral moment for everyone. And then when I go out, they are like, आपको कैसे लगा शाहरुख खान ने अपने belly को kiss किया? So I was like, मैंने realize भी नहीं किया कि उन्होंने मेरे belly को kiss किया. I thought he was just shaking my belly. But then later on, when I saw the recording, I realized that, yeah, he kissed my belly. So I was even asked, will you take a bath since Shah Rukh Khan has kissed you? I am like, so yeah, so that was the whole thing of Shah Rukh Khan. And the most beautiful part about what I feel the most successful people in the world are that they are the most humble people, and that's what he was. The shoot got over in the morning at like 4:35, but he actually came backstage, he hugged me, he met me, and he told me, he wished me all the best, and he said that, I'll make it big in life, and that hope, that trust.
That's something very important when you get that push from someone, you say the words are the biggest motivator. And definitely the words coming from someone who has been admired by the world is even bigger. So इसी बात पे I'll give you this nutri makhana.
I was looking at it since when, and I'm like, when am I gonna get to eat this? Thank you.
This is definitely
This is which flavor? I mean, the makhana is.
the flavor is, I have many flavors. This is salt and pepper.
Do I get a dabba?
Dabba, yes, you can order it from Amazon, definitely.
Okay.
But yeah, they are available on Amazon. It is a beautiful one, and it is one of my friend's company.
He must know that these are really tasty.
Yeah, and the background is very uh, good and heart touching. So these are made by the farmers, Makhana farmers, and currently the Makhana farmers in India are going in a backstage. Nobody is seeing them. So we tried to take their hands. Matlab, in my social service, we started a project named as Project Kisan, where we are helping the Makhana farmers to build themselves. So this is something not just a business, but a bigger way charity for the Makhana farmers.
Has a motive.
Yeah, it has a motive.
And my extended love and regards to all the farmers who have put in so much efforts to get this to my table. So we say we have to respect the food that we eat, and I'm grateful to eat this.
It is easier for us to say that we are hungry, but it is definitely, if you go back and see that how these things are prepared, how these things have come to us.
I have seen a video of how the makhana is actually got out from the lotus seeds. So it is they have to actually dirty themselves to actually get into the water and do everything. It's not easy. And lotuses grow in muddy waters.
Yeah, so this was about Makhana, and last segment which I wanted to ask about is, I always say that I always have I made a formula right now that S is equal to S. For me, struggle is equal to success. How do you relate it to yourself?
It's a boomerang, you know. Like how we record a boomerang and it kind of keeps going on, and yeah, it comes back. That's what it is. You struggle, you receive your success. If you don't struggle, success is short lived. That's because I have observed this. When things come easy, we kind of miss out on valuing the process of what we could have learned through the struggle. And ultimately, Dharma says that sacrifice is the way to live. That's because what we learn through it. So struggle equals to success. It's actually the way I have lived my life all this while. And I feel blessed for the struggles, because if there weren't any struggles, I wouldn't be here. And for me, even this moment matters. It is a very important moment for me. So thank you, in fact.
Thank you so much. With this, we'll end this our conversation with one message, because the name of the podcast is Insaan Bano, and I'm sure you are connected. You have started something related to society. We need to know about it, your NGO, and how you started working about it. And one message to the people who is watching this related to humanity.
Okay, so our NGO, I am a co founder of Prathna, and the caption of Prathna is Believe, Pray, and Grow. During the second wave of COVID, my best friend, we both are born on 11/11. We are born on the same day. That's why our Insta handle page name is also Prathna 11/11. And my friend and me, we have this understanding that probably we met because we were supposed to be beginning with Prathna. We started it off as a prayer group. That's because we believe in the power of prayer. We all do. And there is power in collective consciousness. You know, we all are a part of the pool of consciousness, and everyone is connected, because eventually we all are one. That's the understanding. So with that understanding, we started with Prathna 11/11, because there were some people sick from our families, and we requested our friends to pray for them. So when we did that, we received more than 200 prayers, and at the same time they requested us to pray for their family members who were not well during COVID. And then when I was doing my meditation, I got a vision that we should start up with a group like that, where we can pray for each other. And I discussed it with my friend. His name is Prakhar. So Prakhar and me, we both got that understanding. We both believed in the same purpose and idea, and we started off with Prathna 11/11 with an understanding that we are collectively going to pray for everybody. And gradually, we started receiving prayer requests, and we would have this team of prayer warriors who would comment and write and wish luck for everybody and wish well for everybody. And then my friend here, Prakhar, he told me that we should start with a blanket drive. This happened in 2021. So we reached out to our friends and family, and then by God's grace, we landed up distributing 200 plus blankets during that drive. And then slowly, we organized a Christmas wish list for the kids' shelter, and then we started distributing food. So, in a very short time, we could organize 3,000 meals, and now we go outside the cancer hospitals and we distribute food. So, Prathna was actually initiated with an intention of praying collectively, but we actually now are helping people. So we would probably, if there is a child who is talented in dance but does not have the finances, we collect the funds and we make sure that the child can go to the right dance school and educate herself. So this was the whole thing. And you know what? When it is planned by God, na, apne aap hi next step, we don't see the staircase, but as we take the step, the next ladder step is ready. That's what we believe.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. You keep doing things. I always tell it to my people that we shouldn't stop. We should continue do things. भले वो सही लगे गलत लगे आपको बहुत लोग बोले कि आप सही नहीं हो आपको बहुत लोग बोले आप सही हो I always feel that you have to do whatever you want to do. You cannot sit back and think, plan, execute. Don't do it. If it feels that you have to do it, do it. The results are later on part. If you fail or if you pass, I would say we will learn. We will neither fail neither pass, but we'll learn in this journey. So with this, I want you to give a strong message to our people.
My only message to everyone today watching this beautiful Insaan Bano podcast would be that in this entire lifetime, even if we can change or help one person, just one soul, okay? This life would be worth living and it will be a successful one. That's what my understanding is. And never ever give up, because when you are going through the most challenging phase of your life, when you are on a trampoline, you go the lowest before you pop out the highest. And that's what life is all about. Never give up, because the one who will not give up, God will look after you. That's the whole point and ideology of my life.
Definitely, and universe is there with you if you believe in it. And definitely, the people who are watching this, they are the believer of universe. अगर नहीं हो तो बन जाओ, because that will give you the more happiness and more growth in your life. Thank you so much everyone for watching this, and so sorry for my voice today. Being a bit unwell, but yes, always there for you people. We don't create content, we create more happiness for you. सो मोर जो लोग सब्सक्राइब नहीं किए हैं वो प्लीज़ कर लो, लाइक कर लो, कमेंट कर लो. थैंक यू सो मच गौरव एंड टीम बिहाइंड द कैमराज हु हैव बीन ऑलवेज बीइंग अ स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट. एंड जितना प्यार आप बांटोगे उतना प्यार आपको मिलेगा. तो प्यार बांटते रहो और देखते रहो इंसान बनो पॉडकास्ट. लव यू ऑल, टेक केयर.